Okay, another edition of the Angry Photographer here. We thought I'd take a look today at Nikon's real Trinity, and then let's take a look at Nikon's second Trinity. I've seen that there are no YouTube videos out there like this that are speaking from experience and intelligence about what to buy and why you should buy it and how to save your money and get the best so that you don't make mistakes and purchase the wrong stuff. In the back row we have Nikon's True Trinity. We have the 14 to 24 2.8. We have the best Nikkor lens that exists, the 24 to 70 2.8, sitting currently on the D810 Nikon. And over here, instead of the 70 to 200, we have the 80 to 200 2.8. Half as much money, just as good of a lens, so why spend $2,400? Even if money's no object, I would not get, even though I own currently almost 30 Nikkor lenses, and I owned well over 100 over the past 2.5 decades, I would not get the $2,400 70 to 200, rather this 80 to 200, which is still a current production lens. And the reason it's a current production lens is this is the best fast glass telephoto that you can buy, bar none. It's been made now for a very long time, so it's the 80 to 200 2.8. New, it's $1,200. You can get them used all day long for about $500. Just incredible. And in the front row we have our secondary Trinity. In the back row we have our fat glass, which nobody wants to pack around all day long. If you're going to be out somewhere for a few hours, that's fine, but you do not want to pack 1, 2, or especially 3 of these lenses, 2 of them in a backpack and 1 on your camera. You definitely want none of these lenses, your fast glass, hanging off of your camera and stressing the lens mount. You should be holding the lens, and you just can't do that all day. I used to when I was younger, but nobody really wants to do that. So let's talk about what you should get, why this is the best, and like I said, I'm tired of the YouTube videos out there that don't speak from experience. There's some moron that's owned a couple Nikons, and he's maybe owned 5 lenses, and he's showing you some lens. He goes, oh, this is an awesome lens, I just get great pay. Well, shut the fuck up. You have no basis of comparison about what's good, what's not, what's a good purchase, and what's not. So let's take a look at the secondary Trinity. Now these are all full frame lenses. All of these of course will work on any DX camera down to the 5200. These will all work on my DX Nikon D7100 as well as my D810, which by the way is the best digital camera that exists out there, 33.6 megapixels. It's just the cat's ass. So let's go down the line. Here we have, you can't find these used anywhere, believe it or not. You can, but not for any deal. It is the 18 to 35, 35 to 45G Nikkor. 77mm filter. This is a full frame lens. Will work also on DX. New $750. So, no discount on that one. Here's the one lens everybody should own. This is a D lens. It'll work on FX or DX. Fast glass. You can't tell it, but this is an extremely heavy lens. I saw one of these close out yesterday in minty condition on eBay for a buy it now price of $200. This is a push-pull, 35 to 70 with the macro setting. 35 to 70, 2.8, so you have 2.8 on your aperture all throughout the range of 35 to 70. You must buy this lens. It is extremely heavy, but it's a compact beat-around lens. You don't worry about it if you wreck it, if you drop it or something like that. It's $200 or $300 all day long used, great condition. This is a must-own lens. If you don't buy this lens, you're really a schmuck. You're an idiot. Over here, there's never been any pro complain about the 70 to 300 4556. So you have a 70 to 300 4556. I've never heard anybody complain about this. Extremely fast on the motor, very fast zoom times. Excellent, no pin cushioning, no flare that I've ever noticed. Just an excellent lens. So you have $700, $300, as cheap as $200 used. This lens isn't made anymore. They're everywhere. Most of them are in Japan if you go on eBay. $300 all day long. So $400 used on the 70 to 300 4556. So your first Trinity, the first Trinity of Nikkor glass, you're looking at 7, 3, and 4. So you're looking at $1,400 total on the first 3 lenses here. $1,400. On your back row, you're looking at $2,000, $2,000, and $1,200 new or $500 used. So let's just say you buy all these, including tax. I'm including tax on this. So on your back row, you have basically $5,000. On your front row, you have $1,400. You have everything here in your front row that you have in your back row. The only difference is slightly superior glass, although you'll notice no difference in picture quality, but not as fast as a glass except for the 35 to 70. However, the 24 to 70 2.8 Nikkor, AFS Nikkor is superior. That is the best lens that Nikon makes, and not owning one of those, even though it's a $1,900 lens, is almost a sin. So our back row, we have our genuine Nikon Trinity. This is the unapproachable 14 to 24 2.8. Right next to it, its brother, the 18 to 35 3545, effectively an f4. Since you have a 3545 range, you can effectively think of this as an 18 to 35 f4 lens. The 14 to 24 Nikkor 2.8. This is a $1,800 lens. It is superior. This and its brother, the 24 to 70, are the holy duality of Nikkor lenses to own. The 14-24 and the 24 to 70 on the back row here. So $5,000 in the back row and $1,400 on the front row. These are the two trinities of Nikkor lenses. They will all work on both FX and DX, all of these lenses combined. Like I said, do not think about getting the 70 to 200. Even if money is no object to you, which it is to very few people, that's not the case for most people. The 80 to 200 2.8 is a superior lens. It has nothing, well, it has extremely little, let's say, without getting into details, over the 70 to 200 2.8. The 70 to 200 2.8 is $2,400. You can get the 80 to 200 2.8 all day long for $500, or $1,200 brand new. So twice as much for the same lens, and it's got nothing over the 80 to 200. The one lens you must own, the two lenses you must own, regardless of money. If money is a regard, you absolutely must own of these six lenses. The 35 to 70 2.8. Like I said, I saw one yesterday close out for $200. Awesome lens, just awesome. There's nothing more that can be said about it. You have to own it. If you don't buy it, you're an idiot. Most important thing is not your camera body, which of course it is to an obvious extent, but what lasts as the camera bodies obviously go down in value because something new and better always comes out, is you want good glass. Really good glass. So, 14 to 24, 24 to 70, 2.8, and your 80 to 200, 2.8. Your back row, that's the Nikon Holy Trinity. Although they say the Holy Trinity is these two lenses and the 70 to 200 2.8, but for twice as much money it is ridiculous. For what you save on buying this 80 to 200 2.8, you can buy these three front lenses. So instead of a 70 to 200 2.8, you can buy the 80 to 200 2.8, have just as good of a lens, and also purchase these three additional lenses up front. These three I can pack around all day long. These three do I not only not want to pack them around all day long or take them on any long trip, except for maybe the 24 to 70 because it is so superior. It's expensive. I have insurance on them, which isn't an issue, but it's too heavy. It's too heavy to hang off the front of the lens mount of the camera. It's too much to pack around. It's a lot of weight. A lot. You plan on shooting fast f-stops in really low light? I mean, is that what you plan on doing? Either pack along a lightweight tripod or just pack these around on a long trip where you're all day. Get around these three lenses. These three lenses alone, your front row, as I call them the secondary trinity of Nikkor lenses, weigh less, just a hair over, just this one lens alone, the 14 to 24 2.8. So nobody's ever complained, no pro, regardless of cost, has ever complained about the 70 to 300 4556. They will all give it praise. They will not call it a fast telephoto lens. Obviously the 2.8, either in 300 or 70 to 2.8 or 80 to 200 2.8. Obviously you need the fast lens for those action shots and low lights. Obviously for your wider aperture, but nobody's ever complained about the 70 to 300 4556. Very fast lens. Very fast on the motor, very quiet. It's an incredible lens. Once again, 35 to 70, 2.8, $300. You might get lucky, snag one for $200, $250. If you don't get this lens, you're a pathetic idiot. Yes, I said it. Someone sent me a comment earlier today that said, well, you're hostile. Well, I'd rather give hostile, accurate advice than some schmuck that owns a camera or two is an armchair photographer. He's maybe owned 5 or 6 lenses in his life. He's giving out recommendations. Well, I own these 5 lenses, and this lens is awesome, and this lens is awesome. Well, shut the hell up. Nobody gives a fuck what you think about the 5 Nikkor lenses that you own. How about a decisive and logical conclusion based upon someone that has literally owned well over 100 Nikkor lenses, is trying to save you money and give you good advice so you don't piss away time, piss away money, and piss away more time doing research. I'm giving it to you right now. Okay, back row, once again, $5,000. Front row, $1,400. That is if you buy used and used. Buy this new, can't really be had used because they just don't exist. That's the 18 to 35, 3545, effectively an F4. Like I said, instead of buying the 70 to 200 2.8 for half as much money, you can buy the 80 to 200 2.8 and also purchase these 3 lenses for just the cost of one lens of the 70 to 200 2.8 at $2,400. Even if money is irrelevant to you, I mean, it's just smart purchasing. You want these 3 lenses regardless. If you're only to purchase one of the genuine Nikon Trinity here in the back row, don't worry about the 14 to 24, which is unquestionably just the second best Nikkor lens ever made. It's just absolutely incredible. But if you're going to buy just one of the back lenses here on the genuine Nikon Trinity, you want the 24 to 70. It is just silk and sugar and pure, and it's just pure gold. That's all you can say about it. It's unapproachable. The 2 Nikkor lenses that are unapproachable by anybody, you'll always see 5-star reviews on them. They're just unapproachable, are the 14 to 24 2.8 and the 24 to 70 2.8. They're just the holy duality of Nikkor lenses. So, hope I gave you some helpful advice, and this is another edition of The Angry Photographer. Remember, hostile advice is better than nice advice that's bullshit. Which would you rather have? I'm hostile from shooting so many weddings. That's where the hostility comes from.